Welcome to the Filmcast review of Supergirl. I'm going to read the plot summary for this movie from IMDb. Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, joins forces with an unlikely companion on an interstellar journey of vengeance and justice when an unexpected adversary strikes too close to home, end quote. This is the second movie that has come out in James Gunn's new DC universe. Next one that's going to come out is Clayface this fall, and then the new Superman film next summer. I think we all were pretty positive about Superman when it came out last year, and I was pretty curious as to whether James Gunn could continue the momentum. It seems like from a box office perspective, he has not been able to. Obviously, he is only the EP on this one. Craig Gillespie directed this. But I am really curious whether we actually liked this movie. Jeff Kanata, let's start with you this week. What did you think of Supergirl?
Well, Dave, I guess you could say what I thought of Supergirl is best summed up in the form of a limerick.
Let's hear it, Jeff.
When Craig Gillespie directs the action and visual effects, he gets his money's worth. I just wanted more Earth, less Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow. Well done.
Man, this is like Eminem level limerick rhyming here, right? Like it is. You are watching an equivalent of Beethoven at limericks.
Jeff didn't
Beethoven
even write
the
that
dog
down.
movie.
Yeah. You're watching the Air Bud of limericks.
There's no rule that says you can't rhyme Galaxy with effects. I wanted to love this movie. I wanted to love it. And I didn't not like it. I liked it. I wanted to love it. And there is a lot to like about it. I think Millie Alcock is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome in this part. She
Agreed.
is so great. Like, she really has to do a lot of heavy lifting in this movie, and she's incredibly charming, incredibly likable. She has a real journey as the character. There's so much of it resting on her shoulders, and she does it. She does it. I loved her. I loved watching her. I think her hair is magic, like incredible hair in this movie. And the third act big set piece action sequence, in my opinion, is a banger. Banger. Like, so much going on. It's awesome. There's stuff happening over here and stuff happening over here. There's tension over here. We got people in peril. We got, Supergirl being awesome. We got Lobo. Really fun action sequence to end this movie. I think it ends with a crescendo in a really cool way. But I couldn't ever sort of get on this movie's wavelength. It takes a long time to rev itself up. And I understand what it's doing. And I think it's got a really cool take. This is based heavily on Women of Tomorrow, the comic book arc. I've not read that, to be frank with you, to be honest. I should. I've heard it's excellent. I've heard it's better than the movie, frankly.
Yep.
I have not read it. But it's a cool take on the character, and it's very different. I think one of the neat things about watching James Gunn's approach to rebooting the DCEU is his embrace of all of the wackiness that comes with comic books. And, I'll use the descriptor comic booky sometimes, that's very comic booky. And what I mean to say when I say that as a huge fan of comic books were such a huge part of my life growing up. Literally my obsession growing up was comic books. And I use that term to describe the fact that in comic books, both Marvel and DC superhero comics, there's sort of an acceptance of everything. Everything is happening all at once, right? There's vampires and space aliens and guys who can invent literally anything they want, and all of it exists all at the same time, all at once, and we don't question any of it. There's any kind of explanation for a thing that it pulls from science fiction, that pulls from gothic horror that pulls from anything you want. It is all a big salad that is all happening at the same time. And it doesn't constrain itself to any one, set of rules. All the rules can be different at any given time, and things bump into all the different rules all the time. And there's a certain amount of fun to that. But usually in a film, for example, traditionally, if you have a science fiction movie, it can break the rules in like one major way, right? It can ask you to suspend your disbelief for one thing. And it's like, in this movie, there's aliens, or, in this movie, there's vampires. It's not all the same thing all at once. But in comic books, that's not the case. And James Gunn's take on this DCU is we're jumping in, the train is already moving, and it's already this comic book world where everything exists. All of the wild, weird wackiness of comic books, where all these rules can be broken, all the real world rules can be broken at the same time, is happening. And he had a lot of experience doing that with Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Marvel's cinematic universe did not do that. Marvel sort of systematically built those blocks from like, hey, there's a guy who like is smart enough to build a suit out of iron.
Right.
Do you buy that? Okay, cool. There's also a guy who was a fighter in World War II and got frozen. You buy that? Okay, you with us so far? Here we go. And we worked up to intergalactic space aliens and cosmic gauntlets of gems. James Gunn is like, okay, we've already established that. Let's just throw everything in already into this crazy soup. And there's a certain energy to that that's really fun, and I thought really worked in Superman. But with Supergirl, I think that notion works against the movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a sequence, there's a tiny little flashbacky moment in this movie that flashes back to when Kara first goes to Metropolis.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I wish that was our movie. Because it's grounded, it's human, it's relatable. There's something really, I think, very, very compelling about it, because you really get insight into her. And they're using it to do all that stuff, but they're using it in shorthand of like, here's just this quick little reference to that. And I think the rest of the movie is this bombastic, like, oh, there's aliens. We're in Guardians of the Galaxy. We're in this intergalactic chaos of everything exists all at once.
But you have liked those kinds of movies in the past, including Guardians of the Galaxy. So like, why didn't that work for you here?
I love that in the first Superman. The first Superman, the corn sweat Superman, is that 100%. It's there's already Guy Gardner is already doing there's giant space aliens coming to Metropolis and banging into buildings, and like, it is that, and I dig it. But I think starting Supergirl in space, in the wackiness, I think for me works against this movie. And the movie has to do such heavy lifting to get us into a place that for me felt relatable and connected me to the character. Like, she's a lot of fun, but the world in which we're in just feels so disorienting to me that I just felt like there was too much going on. Like, this character isn't as well known as Clark Kent, right? And so you can't shorthand it as much. At least I didn't think so. I think it's a harder pill to swallow to go, here's a new character to most people in this bizarre world that also takes a lot of establishing to even understand what the dynamic is of it. And by the time we sort of get to her being Supergirl, I feel like it's already kind of exhausting. And it just felt like there was too much going on. And I wish this kind of could have been the second Supergirl movie, maybe, or whatever. I just wish the first time we're introduced to the Millie Alcock's Supergirl, it had just been a little cleaner and a little easier to get into. That said, I liked the movie. I just didn't love the movie.
I think that with Superman, they did all the stuff that you said and they assumed everything, right? But like, and they tried a similar approach here. The problem is not everyone knows Supergirl, right? Like everyone knows Superman. We've all heard that origin story like 10 times. There was a whole movie series by a guy named Zack Snyder. You may or may not have heard of him. And so like, we don't need
earlier
all
than that by a guy named Richard Donner, who you also may not have heard of.
And I think they just kind of assumed, oh, well, people will have that level of knowledge and affection and familiarity with Supergirl, and that's just not true.
But they also established her as being very, very, very different from Superman.
Yeah. I love her at the end of the Superman, where she just comes in.
Yeah.
And it's like a totally different energy from the rest of that movie.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a different energy, and it's a cool.
That's cool. It's nice to have like a contrast, right? Yeah,
yes,
it's nice to have a contrast.
She's not just like a female version of Superman.
Yeah,
it's a real contrast, and I think that could work and does work for the most part. It's just like, well, if what I know, which is Superman, is this is different from that, and then we're also in this wild, wacky context, it just feels like it felt like too much noise.
Devindra Hardwar, your thoughts on Supergirl?
I feel like I'm just aligning right with you, Jeff. Like I like this movie just fine. I think there's a lot of great stuff in here. Millie Alcock is great. Some of the visuals are great. This is not Craig Gillespie would not be my first choice to make a movie like this, but as a director, like he's always been very energetic with his visuals. I really liked his Fright Night remake, which I think we reviewed way back when.
Yeah,
I,
such a fun movie.
That was a fun movie. I, Tonya, like his dramas tend to be visually overcranked in a way that's like, yeah, this guy should just do an action movie. I think there's some of that, but this movie also feels like something that's been like torn apart by studio notes in many ways. Like it's very confusing. Why is Lobo in this movie? Lobo is in this movie, a character who I only remember as being a parody character in the 90s, and now
he still is in this movie,
and he's still a but it's also like we're trying to tell a somewhat grounded story about Supergirl, and Lobo's here being the Poochie of this movie. Like it is at all times the other character should be asking, where's Lobo? What's Lobo doing? He doesn't make any sense in this movie. Momoa's fine. Momoa's like has a lot of fun here. That character doesn't make any dramatic sense. It feels like there are a lot of like decisions around this movie that just don't make sense, right? We don't know who Supergirl is, so they start to like give us a background and give us her sense of trauma. And I think the best part of this movie is a flashback we get to home planet, to Krypton, and a lot of that stuff is cool. The visuals of kind of what happens there is cool. We'll talk about more of that in spoilers. I think David Krumholtz gives like the performance of the film, because he's kind of heartbreaking in this. But also this movie feels very, very confused, because there's an ongoing sense of it's also very True Grit. It's about a young girl whose family is killed and she's out seeking revenge. She seeks the help of Supergirl. Very True Grit in that sense. And Supergirl is always trying to be almost her moral angle is like you shouldn't seek revenge. It's bad. And we'll talk about this in spoilers, but I think the movie has no idea what the hell it's talking about there, or at least what it's trying to do.
100%.
It's very muddled.
100% agreed, Devindra. 100%.
So that like moral line doesn't make sense. Why does Supergirl feel the way she does is like a thing that's kind of explored, but also I would like more background there. Like I just like more time with her and more time with how she's feeling. And I just feel like we don't quite get that in this movie. So by the end, I think the first two acts of this movie are really good. Introducing this world, seeing her character, seeing her in the alien places, even if things seem incongruous. Why are they singing The Girl from Ipanema? Why is music from Earth apparently a mainstay around the galaxy? In Guardians of the Galaxy, that was established because they were coming from the tapes, right?
Yeah.
That was established. Here it's just like, they're out there. Everyone's just listening to the same music. And that sort of stuff where it feels like you just didn't really think about how you're building this world, I think kind of grated at me a little bit.
Or the joke is more important than the
Yes.
You know,
the world building. Yeah.
The world building. And those
Yeah.
songs meant something too, because they're a remembrance of the character from Earth, like in Guardians of the Galaxy. They mean something.
Right.
Here, it's just like a whole lot of references, a whole lot of things that just have no like real tonal impact. I like the first 2 acts of this movie quite a bit. I think the ending, my eyes glazed over because I did not care about anything happening here. And it's a shame because like I feel like they have all the great pieces to make a genuinely great movie. It's just it feels like this is from a second or third phase of the MCU type of thing where you don't quite know what you're doing, and it's really sad to see this being the second film of the Gunn DC era.
Yeah, this does feel like a Marvel Phase 2 movie.
Yeah.
It feels like, I would say, in my opinion, quality wise, it feels like a middling Marvel Phase 2 film. That's how I would describe it. I actually align a lot with Devindra Hardar, which is not something I say very often on this podcast, but like, yeah, I kind of agree completely. The first 2/3 I really enjoyed. Millie Alcock's great in the movie, and I really liked the take, as you said, Jeff, of what they have her doing. She's not the same as Superman, but also she comes in at the end of the Superman film, right? Very mild spoilers for that film, as kind of this drunk person who doesn't really know, kind of a mess, kind of a.
Does he call him a bitch too? Like she's like something.
Right. She calls him that. Right. That's right.
Yeah.
And so she's kind of this crass, rude, doesn't know what she's doing. And then what I think is so wonderful about what this movie does is it gives her a reason to be that way. Right. It gives her a very reasonable explanation why she behaves in this fashion, why she decides to inebriate herself all the time and forget about making a new home. And by the way, as somebody who just spent a significant amount of time in another country, like, I really appreciated this idea of how lonely and isolating and alienating it can be when you are in a place that you aren't familiar with. And I thought the movie did such a great job of all those things. And all that stuff happens in the first 2/3 of the movie, right? Like the sort of background, the flashbacks, all the Supergirl backstory in the first 2/3 of the movie, I thought were great. And so I was like, oh, wow, I don't know why people don't like this movie. I don't know why this movie has such poor ratings. And then we get to the final act of the film. And I do think that it was pretty lackluster. I don't agree with Jeff Canetta. I thought the final act was kind of a disaster for a variety of reasons. The action is okay. A lot of people are complaining about how, like, visually and editing wise, it's incomprehensible. I didn't have that much of a problem with it, but I do think that the ultimate climactic moments of the film make absolutely no sense. We'll talk about that in spoilers. And also, by the way, the villain character in the film is pretty weak. On the one side, you have literally one of the most powerful beings in the universe, and on the other side, some guy. that is
some guy who likes to eat. He loves to snack. He loves a little snack every once in a while. Yeah,
that is the sort of dichotomy. On the one, this is like a being of immense, unimaginable power, and then some dude. And the idea that, like, the movie's making them out to be like somewhat on equal footing is very ludicrous to me.
Well, there are a lot of convenient plot elements. That sort of equalize them. I hated that. Yeah. I hated all of that. Yeah,
absolutely. So,
did you see all the shit in his face though?
He loved pie. He was like, "Is that pie?"
He does love pie. That was the most relatable moment of the whole movie.
Totally.
That pie looked delicious.
All right, folks, let's get to spoilers. Spoilers for Supergirl starting right now. All right, so on that point, there are, as far as we know in this universe, 2 Kryptonians that exist.
It makes no goddamn sense that he does anything that he does.
But for some reason, this guy has kryptonite available. Like,
no, dude, it's worse than that. So listen, I know you guys were like, "Oh, Jeff thought that third act was great." I was saying the third act set piece. I thought the action sequence was awesome.
Even that, I would dispute. But go ahead. Yeah.
Well, fair. But do not conflate that with me thinking the third act makes any damn sense, because it doesn't. And I don't like the fact that she kills the dude, which we'll get in a second.
Yes.
But I got an idea. I know that kryptonite works against Kryptonians.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of whom has not been in this
the movie
anywhere in this galaxy except for Earth, which we're not even talking about. The other one is you? It's like, I've just met you. It makes no damn sense.
Yeah, he doesn't know who she is or what's her power.
He's got her all dialed in, like understands exactly what her weakness is. Then the big idea is we'll just put you in this cave next to the green sun.
Right.
He built his whole base.
Sets. We know sets and rises. It is so classic. Like, you'll just be. Bye, Mr. Bond. I'll let the laser do its work. See you later. And when the green sun sets and the yellow sun rises, you don't think maybe that would be a problem? But also, you think she's toast. You don't want to put her in any kind of situation with a guard, with a cage, any kind of, or I don't know, finish her off. That'll be probably pretty smart. No, what you'll do instead is assume she's dead, but you assumed she's dead so much that you decided to wear your kryptonite wrist shooters? Because today I need to have my kryptonite wrist shooters on just in case that lady that I know we defeated is not defeated. What?
I can't get over how the entire setup for his base, right? To put a base on that planet, you have to assume that a Kryptonian is the thing you're worried about, right? That's like paying for like the extra insulation.
Okay,
it's like building a house, right? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you pay for that? Yeah,
it's so true. It's literally like it's like if you and I built a house to prevent dinosaurs from attacking us. Dinosaurs are extinct. But let's make sure that we spend all this money to make it dinosaur proof.
Here's my headcanon, by the way. Like, my headcanon is they didn't know that the sun would impact, because it's not a kryptonite sun. It's some other kind of sun.
But it's a green sun.
Right, it's a green sun.
Green wavelengths are bad, which is not a thing, by the way.
Here's my headcanon is they didn't know about it. They didn't know that would impact her that way. And nothing in the movie really contradicts that as far as I can tell.
Well, they just leave her in a hole?
They're just like, oh, I guess she didn't show up. All right, that's fine. Anyway, whatever the case, I agree with you that there's a lot of problems with how much he knows her and all that stuff. I also want to mention, by the way, that this movie is incredibly dark. Like, and I'm not just talking about lighting wise. I'm talking about there is a child. What they're doing with the children in this movie is incredibly upsetting, and the movie does not really address it in any significant way. It's not like we're trying to make a point about this or whatever. It's
that dude straight up murders that family. Not at the beginning. The later family. The later family where that like helps her and puts her in and then betrays her. Like when he murders those people in the alley.
Yeah, so upsetting.
It's really harsh.
I remember it doesn't really reckon with that either.
When we talked about in Superman how like that one guy is executed and that was tough. It was like, oh, that's really dark for the Superman.
This character meant something. By that character,
that character was
to the
significant.
plot and
this
Superman.
Is way worse than that, in my opinion. And we haven't even gotten to the ending. Okay, so the climactic moment in this film. First of all, there is that needle drop of the middle, which I don't know whether that worked for you guys or not.
Nope.
I would say pretty silly.
You mean the slowed down version of
the middle? Yeah, is the name of the
middle? Yeah. The Jimmy Eat World song.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Apparently, they tried out 45 different songs for that sequence, and that was the best one. This is like in The Simpsons when he's like, "We had 45 different takes." And that was the best one. But
just take some time in the middle, like slow it down and it's awesome. Everything, no matter what it is, slow it down.
So the climactic moment is they get this guy dead to rights. He's lying on the ground. He's probably super traumatized. And the woman that she's with is like, I'm going to kill this guy, and then Supergirl says no, like
the young girl.
The
young girl.
Yeah, the young girl. And Supergirl's like, no, like if you kill him, he's gonna haunt you forever. And please don't kill him. This is a terrible idea. And then she's like, okay, fine, I won't kill him. And then Supergirl says, okay, now I'm gonna kill him. And then my turn.
But I think you're framing it incorrectly. Okay. In the context of the movie, it's if you kill him, you will become me. I'm already me.
But also, what has she been going around killing people?
That is, yeah. I mean, that is not. I mean, I agree with you that that's what the movie wanted.
The movie is trying to tell you.
That's what the movie does.
I agree it's a bad choice for the in this movie, but I'm telling you that it's not fair to say that the movie isn't. What the movie is saying is, I'm already damaged.
Yes.
Don't become damaged. Like you don't want to put yourself through the things I've already been put through.
But what has she been put through?
This isn't going to help make you feel better. It's going to make you feel worse. I'm already feeling worse. I can do it.
Has she been out there murdering bad guys? Like we don't. The
problem is, Jeff, that the movie does not adequately build up to that moment. Like I think the movie.
I think she Dave at one point she basically says, "I don't want you to become me," or something like. She says it outright. Sure.
No, I get that, but like the plot of the movie, in my opinion, does not make that choice a particularly, like, I understand that I've read the interviews of the writer, and they said like what Supergirl wants to do in that moment is take the trauma upon herself, right? Like that's what she wants to. I don't want you to have the trauma. I already have the trauma. I will take that onto myself. I don't think the movie supports that.
Yeah, I think it works all the way up to the moment where she murders the guy.
Yeah,
like, sure.
Okay, maybe that's what we're saying.
Don't do this. Don't do it. Step away. All of that works for me. I think that's kind of a beautiful thing. Like,
agreed.
But again, it's also that thing we see in stories like this all the time, where we've just knocked 400 guys off the spaceship and sent them out. But this guy, don't kill this one.
Don't kill this guy. That is gonna damage you horribly forever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The guy that you killed inside the jail cell, like. F that guy. Like he's screwed.
All the dudes that
everyone that has led up to this point.
All the people that I knocked into the already running space engine and made explode. Those guys are just fodder. But I know this dude's name.
Yeah, this guy, he has a couple of characteristics as far as we understand.
Yeah, he's not just an NPC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a problem. But I still think it kind of works that, like, hey, revenge is not the answer. But then having her actually do the murder did not work for me at all.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I want to hear. Yeah. If the previous thing worked for you, then why did the murder itself not work for you? Because none of it worked for me, I have to say. But go ahead.
Well, because I think you're right. I don't think it was properly built to in that I don't think we see that she's accepting a necessary evil onto herself. I think, and it's not something that she has done.
She hasn't like grappled with it throughout the movie. She's not like, oh, but by the way, I thought Argo and the David Krumholtz stuff. David Krumholtz looking good, by the way.
Incredible.
I have to say.
Looking good.
And the Argo stuff was like such a cool concept, and like that looked amazing. And when the ship like goes up into the air, like super cool stuff. I love all that. But like the idea of losing her home, and then now she's grappling with like, should I kill people? I kill people all the time, but it leaves me empty inside. But I kill to feel something. Like something like that would have given that.
Or like even having that juxtaposition between she and Superman, where it's like, oh, my goody two shoes cousin will never kill people. I'll do it.
But I kill people. Right, exactly.
As we learn through the movie, like maybe that's not a good position to take, but then she has to do it one last time.
Yeah, something like that. There's many ways to do it, but like I think the movie just got people have been speculating it's been really badly edited.
That's what it feels like. But I also think fundamentally, like let's rewind all the way to the point where she realizes revenge is bad. You need to tell us that story. You can't just have her be like, I am damaged. I have felt the damage of revenge already. Do not do this, child. And then she proceeds to do it. But also, all we know about her is that she got ejected from Krypton. She lost her family. She's on Earth. She's kind of stranded. We don't know anything else that's happened to her other than the fact that she's lonely. So where is this like whole moral stance against revenge coming from?
Doesn't make sense. Devindra, because it's not like somebody destroyed Krypton and she's like burning with revenge against them, or like none of that. I agree with 100% with everything you said. Like none of that is like set up in the movie, so you cannot hang the ultimate decision of the movie on that if you have not built up to that point. It's very.
I agree with.
It's bizarre. It is a bizarre ending for this movie. It is bizarre. So
and then Lobo. Let's talk about Lobo. Why is Lobo even here? What is going on?
I definitely want to talk about Lobo. First of all, it's extraordinary that there is this very high-profile A-list actor who was born looking like Lobo. and actually gets to play Lobo. That is an extraordinary thing. Like, there has never been a person more suited to the drawing of a character in the history of time. Like, when whoever it was, I wish I knew the creator, whoever it was invented Lobo. It is almost like they time traveled and saw Jason Momoa in 2026 and then drew that.
In the future, there will be a buff man with hair. Draw a buff man with hair.
It is wild how exactly spot on. So, and you know, the costuming is great. Like, he looks exactly like Lobo. That said, in the 90s, Lobo wasn't a character.
Yeah.
Lobo was a vibe. And this movie is authentic to that. This is not it's completely in line with everything Lobo has traditionally been, which is barely anything. He's just a vibe. And the vibe is fun, but there's no character here. But there never was for Lobo. Lobo was always like, we need a Wolverine. Can we have a Wolverine, please? Wolverine is making Marvel so much money. Can we get one of those, please?
More accurately, we have Wolverine at home, honey.
Yeah,
that's the vibe of this one.
Yeah,
but yeah, Lobo. Honestly, this feels like a relic of like early Marvel or sort of some of the worst Marvel impulses. When it's like, hey, we gotta have Thor go to the cave so we can set up Thor Ragnarok. You know, like, hey, we gotta introduce Lobo so that like Lobo can get his own spin-off movie later. And it's like, this is a character that is completely extraneous to this movie.
Yeah.
You could remove the character and he has no impact on the film whatsoever. Like,
I suspect it's more depressing than even that. It's more like we can't be sure that a woman can support this movie. We got to put a male superhero.
We got to hide Aquaman in this movie, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, perhaps, but I think it's more like, hey, we want to make a Lobo. We're trying to like introduce various tendrils of this DC universe, and I don't think it works particularly well. Also, by the way, put this out there, like Lobo, another person that could have killed that guy at the end. And it would have probably made more sense.
It would have been morally. It would have been completely fine. It's like
it would have been amazing.
It would have been amazing. It would have.
Yeah. She turns away. She turns away. She's like, "I'm not going to do it." She walks away, and she looks back, and literally Lobo is holding his head.
Yeah,
it would have been hilarious.
Lobo has killed like a gajillion guys. Like, he doesn't matter if he kills anyone. That's his whole thing.
We kind of solved this problem with Batman Begins. By the way, I don't have to kill you. Right? I'm not going to kill you. I don't have to save you. And you can have that moral argument there about that, but at least it was an attempt to be true to a philosophy, you know?
I mean, at least the end of Batman Begins was an ethos, you know?
It would have made Lobo's presence in the movie have a reason.
Yes.
If literally at the end she's like refuses to kill the guy, walks away, and Lobo does it, it would have been a hilarious ending. It would have been, you know, it would have retroactively made his presence in the movie mean something. It would have worked. It would have been perfect.
My reaction would have literally been, oh, so that's why you introduced Lobo.
Yeah, you know? Right. Yeah.
Just a wild card to give everybody complete moral grace, I guess. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I think the movie has a lot of fun stuff. I'm curious. You guys loved all of the wacky space. Like it is wacky space. It's not.
I love the wacky space stuff. Yeah.
It's not even like Guardians of the Galaxy space. It's like truly wacky. We have Seth Rogen as a tiny little guy. We got Girl from Ipanema.
I like that scene when she's using the teleportation device and fighting the people on the train. Yeah. That was kind of cool.
The teleportation device physics, super awesome. That scene, the goofiness of all the people on the train and I felt like that was such a mess.
I have to say the creature effects in the movie are really good though. Like they look like they actually use practical effects for a lot of them, and that's kind of rare. So again, I thought the first 2/3 were like pretty solid. You know, pretty solid.
Also, we found out that Lobo watches SpongeBob SquarePants, I guess.
Yes.
Because he calls that dude Squidward.
The only culture is Earth culture. Gets shot out to the galaxy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. American Earth culture, for that matter.
An American
the most badass biker dude in the universe sitting around watching SpongeBob SquarePants.
I believe it. Totally believe SpongeBob is awesome. By the way, you introduce the teleportation device. Keep the teleportation device. You have all the powers in the world, except your powers turn off when you're not around the yellow sun. Keep the teleportation device. Could be useful in the future.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Or maybe give it to this girl that you want to
Give it to the
have
girl,
not
yeah,
be
who
in
has
peril all the
nothing.
time.
I mean, we haven't even talked about Eve Ridley, who plays Ruthie, the young girl who kind of is Supergirl's sidekick. Like, what did you think of that character? I thought it was fine. You know, like there's a
I
really
did not care. I thought
there's
that was a.
Yeah.
I thought that
there's
was
a
an
really funny
unnecessary
moment when
addition.
she starts giving her speech, and then Supergirl starts mouthing the speech
Yeah.
along with it. That was very funny. But yeah, in general, it's like the dynamic between them didn't really work, and I guess Supergirl is supposed to have grown emotionally and spiritually by the end of the film, but like I didn't really
just
feel
to
it that
save
much.
her dog. That's all it is. Like,
No,
I feel
but like she comes back to Earth, and she's
Yeah.
like, "I'm ready to stay," and it's like, why?
Why?
What was
happened?
learned?
Well, I saved Crypto and I killed the guy.
yeah,
I'm back. Yeah,
Yeah.
And
I'm
that's-
okay now.
And that's
Well,
the
yeah.
it could have been like I like have this bond with this girl
Yeah.
who like has also lost everything, but like
Yeah.
that didn't quite land for me by the end of the film.
No,
that's
I
the
agree.
thing, you know. So
She felt like an albatross hung around this movie's
Yeah.
neck.
a little bit.
She's no Haley Steinfeld in True Grit, and that's kind of what you need.
Yeah.
You needed
I
that.
mean, I think the
spunk in
actor was
everybody.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing the actor. I just thought functionally
yeah.
she felt like this kind of vestige of a different kind of movie that was just kind of stuck in here to give
Mm-hmm.
our main character some other thing to protect. And I don't know. I didn't love it.
All right. Well, kind of disappointing as a film, but not terrible. Not like like I said, I was just saying
Mhm.
this is like middling to lower tier Marvel. I would describe it as.
Yeah.
You know, like
Millie Alcock is so good.
yeah.
She's
Mhm.
so good.
This
I
movie
love
lets her
sells-
down.
the dirtbag persona, like
Yes,
drunk
it
dirtbag
works.
persona at the beginning of the film. I do think it really works. Yeah. You know, I was reflecting, Jeff, on how dizzying it must be to be one of these characters, right? Like I remember when Brandon Routh was
Yeah.
Superman, right? And it's like the studio like put so much, like he was on every poster and every, you know, and then the
Yeah.
movie comes out and it didn't do that well. And then Brandon Routh, you know, he still acts sometimes, but it's like he doesn't have this huge career. And it's like one day you are on every poster in every piece of advertising space in the country, and then the next week you're gone. And
I think she's going to be fine. I think she's a huge
I mean, she
talent.
literally talked about almost quitting acting after House of the Dragon because she couldn't find any work. So like,
Oh,
I don't
really?
know.
Wow.
I don't know what's going to happen. I hope she does okay because she's awesome in this movie.
She's awesome. She's
but
really good.
it's just like, man, Hollywood is a fickle creature. You know, that's
The
all I'm
other
saying.
thing that she does that I don't think people give enough credit to, like she nails all the acting moments. She really sells, you know, being drunk, which is a hard thing to do authentically. She
Yeah.
sells that, you know, that she's really kind of charming and funny, and I don't know. I loved her. But the thing that I was even more impressed with is she hits all of the poses in each
Mhm.
beat of the action sequence it's really works just dynamically, body movement wise, when she moves from moment to moment, and that's not easy to do. And I don't know. I came away thinking she's a huge talent.
She's great.
Agreed
I mean,
100%.
she's on shows already. She's on House of the Dragon, right? So
Not anymore.
Yeah,
No.
not anymore.
Yeah.
So she was in half.
I
of
think
that
she'll
season.
be okay.
But yeah,
yeah.
I hope that's all I'm saying is I hope so. That's all I'm saying. But I do not think it is like as assured as you guys think it is. And the story I was referring to, she talked about how she felt like she had to apply for she applied to work at a bakery after
right.
after House of the Dragon because she was like unsure that she would get any more work. But we'll see. I hope she becomes a huge star. Certainly, this movie shows that she should be. And at the end of the day, it is extremely impressive that Craig Gillespie made a movie. Thank you so much for watching this video of the Filmcast. Check out these other videos that we have available, and be sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get other videos from us in the future.
You can also go to thefilmcast.com to catch all of our audio podcast versions of all of our episodes.
And support this podcast at patreon.com/filmpodcast, where you can sign up for ad-free episodes and exclusive After Darks.
Thanks so much to everyone who makes the Filmcast possible.